What's up, everybody? Just got out of the shower. Oh, exhausting day. For those of you who know, I've been substitute teaching elementary school kids, and it is tiring to say the least. But let's go through this. Pretty crazy week, obviously. We got an even crazier week coming up. Probably the craziest week of all time in our fantasy league. So let's just run through it. I want to give a few shout outs. As we all know, Alec isn't setting his lineup and is just going crazy and it's ridiculous. I don't want to hear any excuses. So that made me, think about Sam. I was like, I think Sam's got the best team. He set his lineup this year. He's been watching my videos. I've seen him comment a few times. He's doing some stuff. So I want to give a shout out to Sam. Doug for drinking the mix. He's on them, confirmed from when we went bowling. Bobby, awesome job bowling in Utah on Monday. He sent me a snapshot of him bowling while we were bowling. That was sick. And I also wanted to give it a shout out to Will for stepping it up. For those of you who didn't know, he went to Jacksonville to meet a gal. And I'm always telling him he's got to put himself out there. I just wish he would put himself out there for the one. We all know who I'm talking about. But worst matchup, Logan versus Alec. Alec didn't even set his lineup, no implications. There kind of was implications because if Alec would have won this week, aka if Alec would have set his lineup this week, he would be in the playoff race. He'd probably be favored to make a playoff spot. So that's just, anyway, terrible matchup. I would say Connor versus Doug. Lots of implications for Connor. Doug locked up the one seed or a playoff spot. Went down to overtime, and yeah, it was intense. Worst injury luck. Gonna go with Bobby because he got Stevenson and B Rob out. He could have won if those two played. Most unlucky. I'm gonna go to Greg. Most points in a loss, and he would have clinched playoffs if he would have beaten me. So you got to give him most unlucky. Um, Luckiest is Doug with 103 and a win to lock in playoffs. It's ridiculously lucky. Doug's been getting lucky. I mean, everybody knows he's got the eighth most points and is in first place, clinch playoffs. So that's lucky. People are like, oh, it just shows you how lucky fantasy is. It's like, no, it really just shows you how lucky Doug is. Like, nobody else is getting that lucky. Everybody else's points kind of matter, except for Doug's. Um, Logan could have also been luckiest, but didn't do any. It didn't really matter that he won. Dumbest move, Alec not setting his lineup. Obviously, he had an excuse. He said that his phone wasn't working or dead. He couldn't get into his app. That being said, if that was really, first of all, I don't believe that he can't get into the app. Second of all, even if he couldn't get into the app, he could have told Hunter or told me or told someone, hey, I can't get into my app. So anyway, smartest move. There were no smart moves. Sorry, guys. Best free agent move. Again, not really any good free agent moves. My Falcons D pickup got me 21 points, so that was huge for me. Stock falling. Wow, I didn't put this in, but you know what? I'm gonna say it because stock falling is it's you can see it in my rankings. So sorry I forgot that. Best player Ashton, 164 points and a must win, and he won without Tank Dell. You got a donut from Tank Dell and still put a 164. I mean, that's impressive. Alec, worst player, didn't even set his lineup. I'm gonna give Ashton that dog. I almost gave it to myself, but Ashton, it was a must win. He didn't have Tank Dell, and he slapped Hunter and he humbled him. Most importantly, Ashton humbled Hunter. And this will come up in dabs, but after CD got a touchdown in the first quarter, Hunter texted me, I have that dog this week. Hunter was basically saying, I'm going to win this week. I got that dog. CD Lamb scored a touchdown. I mean, how could I not win? And then Ash just proceeded to slap them all around the field. So that was a major dog. Sam's still at one. I'm putting Ashton as, obviously highest riser. Stock rising. 6-2. He's won like 4 weeks in a row. I'm gonna give Khan biggest drop. I mean, he's been dropping for a while. I think he's lost 4 or 5 games. But I think this is pretty accurate. Sam, Ash, Doug, Dylan, Doug, similar. Greg, Hunter, me, similar. I'd say Connor, Bob. It's close. It's close, but I'd say Sam stands above, and then everybody else is pretty close. Next week's worst matchup is Doug versus Logan. Doug's clinched. Logan's not in contention. I do predict Doug will win. Um, Next week, I would say the best matchup is Greg versus Bobby. It is a must-win for both of them. Only matchup that could turn the tides. I mean, all every matchup could turn the tides. I mean, we're all so close. What I meant by that is, like, it's the only matchup where Greg could. If Greg loses, he's out. If Bobby loses, he's out. If Bobby wins, he might be in. If Greg wins, he's definitely in. So, I do predict Greg to win though. Prediction: I think Sam will seriously crush me, and I'm not kidding. If you actually look at what I'm putting out there, I got an injured Trevor Lawrence. I got a bye Sam Howell. I got some bad matchups for a few of my players, this and that. I'm not really sure who I should play between a few guys, so I'm not expected to make playoffs, season segments, dabs. Um, this is so wrong. This part. I mean, sorry about that, Will. So Will won with 8 dabs last week. Spoiler alert, Alex is going to win with 250, 350 dabs. So he had like 340 something more dabs than Will did last week, previous winner. Let's go through it. Dylan for having corn on his wrapped, 1 dab. So everybody posted their Spotify raps or whatever, their Apple, Ooh, what did you listen to this year? Dylan put his on there. I mean, dark, depressing music from Dylan. Someone needs to check on him. But one of his guys was Corn. Dylan also is playing Fortnite a lot, people. I log on to Xbox to play COD. I look to see who's online. Dylan's on every night playing Fortnite. Dylan for saying Summits has better TVs than Taco Mac, 2 dabs. Summit's TVs are awful. Ashton for not posting his Wrapped, or at least I didn't see it and I looked for it. And we all know how legendary those Ashton Melton raps are with Chelsea Cutler #1. Hunter for telling me he's got dog after 1 touchdown on a Thursday night game. Hunter for not learning from his overconfident ways and always jinxing himself. Hunter, he just can't help but jinx himself. The second his team shows some glimmer, he just goes all in as like I have the best team in the league, and it's like a Thursday night game, and you're like, dude, just wait. Hunter for trying to give Will dabs for getting the girl. 1 dab. Hunter texted me. He was like, dabs for Will for going to Jacksonville for the girl. And I was like, well, I respect the grind. Um, I respect the grind. I don't think Will did anything wrong. There was also an aspect of Hunter thinking it was unsafe, which, maybe Will could get some dabs for being unsafe, but I don't know the details. Hunter for saying his dynasty team is sick when he's getting beat. On the Monday night game, Hunter texted Greg after a Jamar Chase touchdown, and he was like, dude, my dynasty team's sick. Meanwhile, Hunter's dynasty team is not sick, and he was getting beat by Greg. Like, he got beat by Greg. So I don't know what that was about. Hunter for not coming to bowling, 1 dab. Will for not coming to bowling, 2 dabs. Hunter, he actually had a legitimate, semi-legitimate reason to not go bowling, so I'll give him 1 dab for that. Logan for puking Friday night. For those of you who don't know, it was 1 dab pen rip that got Logan. Ask him about it. Logan for constantly trying to watch sporting events at the gym, 3 dabs. Every time I text Logan, I'm like, hey, you watching this basketball game? Hey, you watching this football game? Hey, watching Thursday night football? He's like, no, dude, they don't have it on at the gym. Like, what the heck? I'm like, dude, the gym's not where it's not a sports bar. Like, go home and watch the game. So stop trying to watch sporting events at the gym. Logan for liking John Mayer, 3 dabs. I know I've put that in there before, but I even sent Logan this TikTok of John Mayer, and I was like, Logan, you gotta back your boy up about this whole John Mayer thing, because listen to this. I literally cried when I wrote, I still keep your shampoo in my shower in case you want to wash your hair. That's the saddest lyric I've ever written in my life. Think of how much desperation is in that line. She's not coming to wash her hair at your house. It's over. I literally cried. Yeah, that's Logan's guy. Logan for being over 2 hours late to summits, 3 dabs. I mean, could be more. Logan for always being late to foosball. I know the foosball thing, might not seem like a big deal, but at this point, he's always the last person at the foosball table. Logan for asking me if he'd get kicked out, or asking if he'd get kicked out of Stars and Strikes for eating Chick-fil-A. Logan had some Chick-fil-A at Stars and Strikes. He was afraid to eat it. He didn't want to get kicked out, so he asked one of the bartenders. He said, "Am I going to get kicked out for eating this?" And she was like, "No." And I'm gonna give Ashton some dabs for hyping up UGA. One dab, that game was atrocious. Thanks a lot for that, Ash. Ash for not coming to summits. Two dabs, that's just ridiculous. Connor for constantly acting like he's coming, but he's not. Four dabs. I mean, I can't even tell you how many times Connor's been like, "Yeah, I'll be there," and then like an hour before, he's like, "Yeah, I don't feel like driving." It's like, you know how far the drive is, Connor. Alec for not setting his lineup, 150 dabs. Alec for needing to be reminded to set his lineup last week. That's also another part. Hunter told me that Alec needed to be reminded last week to set his lineup. Alec for coming up with the worst excuses for why he didn't set his lineup, 100 dabs. Again, he said he couldn't get into his computer or whatever. Tyler for not even ever coming to summits, 3 dabs. Gotta give Tyler dabs for not coming to summits. That's just ridiculous. Cameron Stebbs, I didn't get anything from Logan. Did I ask him for him? No, but it's Thursday. I even gave him an extra day. He didn't send them to me, so I'm not going on my way for those. Most annoying, Alec. That's an easy one. Didn't set his lineup. Made dumb excuses. Here's that. Random rankings. I did a little music taste ranking because a lot of people put out their Spotify Wrapped. Me number one. Logan's gonna be like, "That's so biased." It's like, yeah, I'm making this music taste list. Like, I'm gonna go based off my music taste. Therefore, obviously, I'm gonna have the best in my eyes. Greg, Doug, and Connor, I think, listen to pretty normal stuff, but I think probably Connor's a little bit out of all the normal stuff. It's probably a little bit more fringe for my taste. Logan, he listens to normal stuff, but it's a lot of Spacey Jane and Hippocampus. Don't know what those guys do, but you get it. Alec, all he listens to is The Weeknd. Will is Screamo, but a little more mainstream. He likes some more mainstream songs as well. Hunter, SoundCloud, soft rap. Everybody who knows Hunter or listen to music with Hunter knows it. You'll be in his car and you'll be like, "Who is this guy?" And his name's like Tofu, and it's like, this is like, where did you hear this? And you're like, anyway. Dylan, straight up screamo. Bobby, I don't know Bobby's music taste, but he just looks like an Aerosmith guy to me, just like an old school, like listens to music my dad would listen to. Ashton is Chelsea Cutler Lecrae. We know that. Sam is beep boop beep beep boop beep, like from SpongeBob. Beep boop boop beep boop beep. Robot music. Most likely to visit me in Washington D.C. For those of you who don't know, moved to Washington D.C. I'm obviously most likely to visit me. I would say Logan, Hunter, Will are 3 and 4. Doug, I could see coming. Dylan will probably make an appearance. Bobby, honestly, should probably be lower because I don't see how there's any way he's coming. Greg, yeah, that's disrespectful, Greg. Sorry. Greg should be higher on that. Alec, Connor refuses to leave Marietta. Ashton and Sam. What is this? What's going on here? These are actually pretty good. All right, that's what it is. It's because I have a photo that's not going. Beep boop boop beep boop beep. All right, this is Andrew, most likely to cry in public. He put me number one, which is so offensive. Ashton 2, that makes sense. Bobby 3, totally makes sense. Will 4, sure. Connor, Dylan, Doug, I don't know. Logan should be higher. Hunter should be higher. I've seen Hunter cry multiple times in public. Alex, Sam, Greg, I guess, yeah, that's fair. Most likely to fly to Thailand for tourism. This is an Andrew category. Dylan, number one. Logan, number two. Fair and fair. Bobby, number 3. Totally fair. Hunter, 4. I agree. Alec, 5. I'd have Alec higher. Probably Alec, number 2, honestly. Will would be a little higher. Doug, lower. Sam, Connor, me, Greg, Ashton. I don't know what makes me any more likely than Greg or Ashton, to be honest, but it is what it is. But that's it. Big week of playoffs. This is one of my shortest videos, so I'm pretty proud of that. But let's grind. I'd love to hang out on Sunday for those of you who are in town, and let's ride.